Health is the greatest gift. Contentment is the greatest wealth. And faithfulness is the best relationship. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. So, time and tide, they wait for no man or woman in this case, apparently. Altcoin Buzz Lady, she messaged a little while ago, said that she was having some trouble with her internet. I don't know exactly whether or not she'll be joining us today. Of course, the channel is still open, so she's willing to pop in and capable of popping in at any time. So if you're watching this trying to pop in, please continue to try along and hop in on this. As always, though, I'm a man of my word. I'm going to continue along with our episode today. We're going to do a little live Q&A. So go ahead, pile in those questions you got in the chat. I guess I'll go ahead and be taking a week in review. I got Samantha here today.
Hi, everyone.
So maybe it'll just be a little bit of bantering back and forth between the two of us and answering your questions in the chat. We'll try to make it the best episode we can. We're going to, roll through the punches as we tend to do around here with these live shows. You never know what's going to happen. I guess it kind of sucks a little bit, Samantha, though, that this would be the second dip out on our live episodes for the weekend because we Need to Talk not quite make it the other weekend.
Yeah, because he was working. And now technical difficulties.
I guess that's how, life is. You never really get to, best laid intentions and all, they say.
The best laid plans.
Yep. All right. So, it's the chicken.
Oh, I was like, what is
that? So what do we got going on today with these crazy cryptocurrency markets? Well, let me see. Last I seen, we were holding sideways, Ripple was slipping backwards a little bit, not too much though, considering the kind of gains they've made. I think we were down like 5 or 6% there. Still holding on to that $200 billion for a market cap, big plus there. People once again, I think I've heard it a dozen times already this year. People trying to call the bottom in. I don't know. There's this little triangle pennant everyone keeps pointing out in technical analysis, trying to tell us that we could be going all the way till the end of October before we make a decision on this. If you go check out Altcoin Buzz's latest technical analysis, he gives you this little, I don't know what you want to call it, little hill stuff or whatever, trying to say what he thinks the market's going to be doing. As always, I say you got to shake a magic 8-ball when it comes to this stuff because emerging markets are pretty unpredictable. And then when you compound it with this emerging technology and the hype that happens around here and the dramatization that's really high schoolish, you never know what the price is going to do. So, Samantha, would you mind pulling up one of those screen shares? We got a couple things to talk about and share today. I guess we'll look at the cryptocurrency market. We'll go ahead and talk about the Tally Fund account. And I found some really good coffee out there I was thinking about sharing with you guys.
All right. We are up and refreshed.
Up and refreshed. Awesome. Let's see. What do we got going on here in the cryptocurrency markets? Well, we got 1,988 coins. It seems like they're not quite adding on as fast because we thought we'd be at 2K by now, didn't we, Samantha? But we still got that BTC dominance slipping backwards a little bit. 51.8%. But, oh well. I mean, it'll get back up there once again. As you can see, the market cap holding on to those wonderful twos. $222 billion. That's really nice. Bitcoin slipping backwards a little bit more than 0.5%. 0.6. Not too bad. And we got $6,669. Not too bad. Teetering around or banging its head against 6,700. I think people were saying 7,800 is the barrier that we want to break in order to get above 7,000. And it's like, you don't say. So let me see. What do we got going on? Ethereum, $240. I mean, we want to see it over 250. We were over 250 already. I mean, it's definitely better than seeing it down there below $200. People were calling for $100 at one point. A couple of weeks ago, everybody was like, Ethereum's dying. I don't necessarily believe that's true. So let's see. What else we got going on here? We got XRapid, like I said, slipping backwards, only 4% right now, coming in at 56 cents. Wow, that was still some nice gains for anybody that had invested in that. All right, we got Bitcoin Cash, $480. That's backwards, not even a full percent, 0.87, so not too bad. EOS, hey, coming up around the $6 mark, $5.94. That's a 2.1% gain. Stellar, they're always following right along with Ripple, 23.6 cents. They're down about 6.3%, so that hurts a little bit there. Litecoin on the other side is $60. Nice. $60.41. That's up 3.4%. Let's see if they can't keep the momentum going. What do we got? Cardano coming in at 8 cents. That's not too bad. Coming down 2.9%. And I guess let's scroll on down here and see what we got going on with that Steam. And 84 cents. Not too much headway there. Down about 0.58. And let's come back up to the top. Let's take a look at that Steam back dollar. See what we got going on here as the metrics. 99 cents, 99.7 cents, telling us, hey, maybe altcoins are kind of right where they're supposed to be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I really couldn't complain if, 48.2% of the market was altcoins right now. We're still trying to figure things out. We're still developing technologies. We're still trying to learn how to digitize tokens while having, censorship resistance through the decentralization and still be able to keep people from hacking and stealing value from you. I mean, so it's going to take some work. All right. As I continue to keep doing, let's plug this tally account, trying to see if we can't raise $600 to be able to go out and do some legwork. Talk about Bitcoin to the masses. We're looking to go to the Electric Daisy Carnival. It's a music festival that runs about 2 days over in Orlando at Tinker Field. It's going to be November 9th and 10th. We're looking to go ahead and pass out Bitcoin flyers that look just like this one here in order to be able to give tools, be able to get started in Bitcoin, help promote adoption. I think this could be a big thing. I think it could be a good thing for the show. And not only, I mean, you got to go out there. You have to do your part towards getting people into cryptocurrency to help the ball rolling with adoption. This is my way of getting out there, doing the part. At the same time, I'm not necessarily promoting the channel, but at the same time, I think the act of going out there and promoting Bitcoin could also help promote the channel. So if you guys could give anything to this tally fund to help get us up there to our $600, let's see, what do we got? Another 36 days. So we're probably looking at a little over $7 a day needed in order to get there. I mean, starting to get down the wire here a little bit because we would like to see it a little bit beforehand so we can order those flyers and make sure, because I know you're real concerned that they're going to mess up on the printing on that and we're going to have to send it back. Samantha's a bit of a worrier here and there.
I just know what can happen.
But as you can see here, I think this is some next level thinking here with the QR codes. Curiosity did kill the cat. So once they start, scanning this stuff with their QR code reader, I mean, there's a wallet, there's Coinbase, there's YouTube with Andreas Antonopoulos, and there's Wikipedia with a non-biased source there telling you about cryptocurrency. I mean, I thought these were the best tools to get put into somebody's face, if you're brand new to cryptocurrency. I've heard a lot from people that they're just too overwhelmed, so I thought I would try to keep it very basic. All right, the last little thing I've come across is this HODL Fuel. I don't know if you guys want to check this out. I just kind of came across this. I started checking it out. He's been stopping by the channel lately. I followed him over on Twitter. I thought that this was kind of cool, but you guys know how I am about coffee. So I thought it was kind of cool that their coffee blends are Satoshi Blend, FBI, and hashtag LTC. I don't know. Sometimes these novelty items are fun to play with. I was thinking about maybe ordering some of their merchandise and wearing one of their shirts out here. I thought that would be fun. All right, let's go ahead and stop the screen share. Let's go ahead and pull up the screen again so Samantha can see what's happening. And let's go ahead and pop out this chat and see what we're looking at here. Oh, we don't usually do them in the afternoon, do we, Samantha?
We do not.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming out here, joining me for an afternoon cup of coffee on Bitcoin and Coffee. I guess we're going to take a week. We're going to take a look back at the week here in crypto, see what we're looking at, see what happened, see if there was anything that was actually worth paying attention to, or if it's just more of that FUD and FOMO that's constantly pumped out there in the market, trying to get you to buy and sell your coins when you know hodling's the best thing you can do.
We have Silent Lamb saying, howdy, pal.
Nice.
We have John saying, good morning, guys. Malibu Beach, California, checking in.
Awesome.
Yeah, we all hate you.
We're just envious.
Oh, my God, I know. To be at the beach. Oh,
I'm sure that there's people, Hey, give it a month or two, and those people up north, they'll be wishing they were down here in Florida when they see us sitting out in our backyard enjoying the weather, and they're up there all snowed into their houses. I mean, I'm from upstate New York. I know what it's like being snowed in the houses.
We have Vention. He's saying good morning from Seattle.
Nice. Thanks for joining us, buddy. I really appreciate it. I know you're going to be working those swing shifts, so spots of finding you here are going to be few and far between, but we do appreciate you making it when you can.
I know he's a loyal one, but he's also one of the only ones like you that still actually is employed, like full time.
A lot of YouTubers decided to take this on as a full-time job last year. I mean, that would have been nice, but unfortunately, I never got those kind of followers in order to make it a full-time gig. But I'm sure that they're feeling the crunch a little bit during this bear market.
Oh, Tech Lords, he's here. Says good afternoon.
Nice, buddy.
Stephen McCoy is here.
Awesome. Hey, this is a good time getting out here Saturday afternoon. All right, so I guess while we sit around and cross our fingers that Altcoin Buzz Ladies comes and pops in on us here soon. Samantha, please let me know if she does so I can throw in the headphone, because right now we can't hear anything.
I will.
All right, thank you. What do we got going on here with the news? What are we looking at? Well, I mean, we got the big news, of course, that we can keep going around and around about with the ETFs. But I thought maybe we'd talk about the NSA for a moment. We're seeing, of course, I mean, we all know that the NSA is out there making backdoor tools to get into all of our software and cell phones and stuff like that because they want to spy on us, and prevent terrorism is going to be their excuse on why they got to, keep an eye on everybody. I mean, it's an invasion of our privacy as far as the majority of us concerned. These tools that they're developing, I mean, they're getting stolen from them. They're getting released out on the internet. And now cryptocurrency people, or cryptocurrency hackers, the bad hats, the bad actors out here in the space, they're taking these tools, they're adapting it for Monero mining. They're out there infecting the internet with it. And I mean, the numbers are up this year on it. It's looking like it's leaving a little bit of a bad taste in some people's mouth, talking about, eating up their processors. Cryptocurrency mining's bad, hacking's horrible, downplaying the NSA's involvement in the whole situation. I mean, if they weren't developing the tools in the first place, and the cryptocurrency hackers wouldn't have been able to get a hold of them in order to use them in the first place to do Monero mining, if you did your due diligence and you were out there using, the proper safety protocols and, ad blockers and malware and all of that kind of stuff, you wouldn't have this stuff on your computer mining Monero in the background. So as far as I can tell, it's pretty much, if you're not out here protecting yourself and realizing that the security of your cryptocurrency, your internet, your router, all of your passwords to your Google account and everything like that, because that's what they use for their 2FA authentication, they're going to get you. You can't take this stuff lightly, because it's not even a situation of they're going to, do this and that in the future. You don't even know where you're going to be. I mean, do you know where you're going to be in 6 months from now? Do you know that the little bit of cryptocurrency you have isn't going to be worth a lot? Because they're hacking you now. They're already in your system. They're already holding your passwords. They already have access to your Google account, but they're just not pulling the strings yet. They're not making anything happen in the background. So they're waiting for you to build up your cryptocurrency. They're waiting for your wallet to say $250,000 before they go steal it. They don't want your $100. They want your $2,500. You know what I mean? They want to wait for you to get somewhere with this. So it's not, oh, yes, I have a bunch of money. Now I'm going to do my due diligence, and now I'm going to be safe, and now I'm going to protect myself. You have to protect yourself all along. You have to start off these processes thinking, okay, I need to get a separate laptop just for this stuff. I need to go ahead and protect my router. I need to go ahead and make sure that this cell phone that I'm using to hold my hot wallet with $500 worth of cryptocurrency on it, I'm not just out willy-nilly looking at, smut sites or hopping on the Wi-Fi over at the Starbucks or all of those different things where you hear about, people losing lots of money. I mean, we've heard lots of times about the guy who was going around stealing people's SIM cards, right? Who was able to steal millions of dollars, it seemed like, from people at Consensus. And I mean, on the flip side of it, yes, they're probably going to get caught. Yes, the long arm of the law, but are you going to get your funds back? I mean, Mount Gox, of course, that was a long time ago. Of course, things are changing a bit, but still, they don't have their funds back. They're still looking at trying to get their funds back. So just because you don't necessarily understand what cryptocurrency is and you're just getting into it and everything doesn't mean that you shouldn't take the time to get a better education about the security of it, because the security of your cryptocurrency is very, very important. And that's one of the main reasons I'm always trying to stress out here: get yourself a hardware wallet, because with a hardware wallet, it takes a lot of the burden off your shoulders on what you have to do. As long as you have the hardware wallet and you're not exporting your private keys out of it, and you make yourself a nice passphrase and you're not keeping it somewhere when the government comes in and kicks down your door, they can get your recovery phrase because it's filed in your safe under ledger. You just have to try to think of all the case scenarios and be prepared for everything. So what do you think, Samantha?
Yes. I mean, I know that hardware wallets are really important. I know that, I mean, as good of an exchange as you think that you're on, and as, everybody, Coinbase, anything, I mean, you could lose it. You could lose everything. And then what? You're right there going boo-hoo with, millions of other people. Okay. I mean, that they're not going to be able to do anything for you, and they won't.
I had heard somebody make a comment once, and I can't even recall where it is or where they were, or what show it was on, but they said that Bitcoin can never be stolen. It's that you made a mistake because the protocol does not allow you to transfer Bitcoin without the private key.
Yes.
So if somebody else got a hold of your private key, I mean,
it's because you left it lying around. It's because you did something, like you let someone get a hold of it.
It's not that the Bitcoin was stolen. It's that a different crime had been committed. A different something had happened that allowed them access to your private keys where you didn't think that you were allowing them access to your private keys.
Yes.
I mean, part of Bitcoin is that it requires personal responsibility. It requires, I don't know, true mathematics, I guess I'd like to call it. You can't create a negative account. You can't just make extra Bitcoins to make something be okay. The numbers have to be there. It has to add up.
All right. We have Paul Brulot here now.
All right.
Yes.
He
says that he's going to donate another 50 whenever Coinbase lets him send it. Don't you love that? And Vention says when Bitcoin hits 16,000, he will quit his job, buy his truck camper, sell his house, and become the wandering mechanic for the permaculture projects, and that he may stop by and visit.
More than welcome.
Help me with my food forest.
You're more than welcome. I mean, that would be amazing to be able to. I had thought about that at one point, opening up some what do they call them, where you can come in and you park your RVs and your campers, and it's like a campground, I guess, right?
Yeah, but I mean, they do, when it's the community things, they do call them something different, but yes, like hippie campground community.
I wonder what it'd be to get some permits for that, or we just completely go off the grid with it, no permits. You're messaging me directly on Proton Mail, and you're paying me in cryptocurrency, and I'm just letting you stay on my land that I own, right?
Oh, Silent Lamb says
no need to get the man involved in it in any way.
To check out Valturo, he says that he talked to the CEO. It seems legit, and that they are actually tagged. Their Bitcoin-ness is tagged to real gold, so it's at least something. Oh, and Crypto Daddy is here now.
All right. Hey, Crypto Daddy. I'm glad you could make it out here, buddy. We appreciate it.
Oh, Silent Lamb says, preach, Eugene, when you were talking about, yes. I mean, you have to. You have to know what you are holding. If you don't think that it has value, and you don't think it has enough value to be spending the $100 on a Trezor or the $80 on a Ledger.
The other part of it is that they cost next to nothing now. I mean, if you could, I think a Ledger, you can go out and get a Ledger, I think, for under $70. They're like $65 or $68. So for $70, to keep all of your cryptocurrency safe from now and into the future, I mean, is that cryptocurrency isn't one of those things where you start off with, oh, I heard of Bitcoin, let me sign up on Coinbase, let me start dollar cost averaging this because that's what somebody had told me, let me start trying to figure this out. It's that you have to go figure this stuff out first. You have to get a cryptocurrency education before you even bother to purchase any. And just like, Charlie Lee was saying, you got to start getting a lot more Bitcoin before you start jumping in the alts. You can't just say, okay, well, I have $100 worth of Bitcoin. Let me start trying to get $100 of this alt and $100 of this alt, because it's going to drive you crazy.
I'm trying to read. We have, Stephen McCoy asks, where should a person hide their private keys? Silent Land comes back with, keep it in a safe. And Crypto Daddy says, Anthonopoulos talked about this too, the good stuff. Yes. Privacy, security and privacy is important. Those are the main things. I mean, seriously, like, I don't know. It's hard to think that people that have thousands of dollars don't have a hardware wallet. Like, that just doesn't even seem...
it always depends on how you're in the space and why you're in the space. And that's, a lot of people, they have trouble seeing the cryptocurrency space as a place for all of the different variety of people. And that's all right, I'm going off on multiple strings here. A lot of people are here in the space just to trade. Okay. And then when they're here in the space just to trade, to try to make that weekly or monthly paycheck out of the situation, they want to be at the exchange because they need their stop losses on it. They need to be able to have the instant ability to buy and sell, their cryptocurrency, or they have bots that are taking care of the situation for them. So the exchanges, they have to be there. It is their livelihood. It is what's making their paycheck. So all of this conversation that we talk about when we're like hardware wallets and hodling and long-term, that it has nothing to do with them. That's not part of their equation. Their equation is that they are looking for the buzz, they are looking for the rumor, they are looking for the pump and dump and the propaganda and the new coin that's, got some FUD and FOMO going about it, because they're just looking to make money off of the space. They don't actually care about any of the projects or the ICOs or the platform or security token or whatever the coin is based on. They're just looking at, can I make more fiat dollars out of this? Because I got bills to pay and I'm looking to have $1 million. So, part of the bear market is this hurting the space? Are these people here not really helping us? Are they what's kind of, because of all the ICOs, we're looking at regulation this year. Because of all the ICOs, you couldn't really do an ICO and get any kind of funding, even if you did have a sound project. So what is the point in all of it? Like, are these people here just hurting us? Are the exchanges not really here for any good? Was it Tether? Was it the exchanges that pumped the price up to the $20,000 and tried to help hold it there when we never really should have been above 10,000 last year? Is it that the exchanges are wash trading this stuff so much that the liquidity can't even be determined in most of these cryptocurrencies? And the reality is that no one's actually using them. The cryptocurrency space, a lot of people, they'll holler all night long to the moon saying that it's completely manipulated. Is it? Can we prove it? Is it just manipulated by everybody? Or is it really that some of it, like Bitcoin, isn't manipulated because it really can't be? It's not as centralized as a lot of people are saying, and it is actually leaning a lot more towards the decentralization, like we're all hoping and trusting it to be. And a lot of these altcoins have most of the centralization, so they're being manipulated, and all of the manipulation that's happening with the altcoins is having a backlash and influence on the cryptocurrency space, suppressing Bitcoin, holding it down.
No, Silent Lamb says, if it's a hardware, put it in an EMP proofing box just in case. Oh, my Lord. Yes. I mean, yes. And I don't know. Crypto Daddy says recovery seeds are really easy to hide. Write a letter with the words in it and keep it in the open and no one will know.
Well, I mean, the problem always is, pen to paper fades, fires happen, putting things in a safe location, somewhere else means out of sight. If it's out of your sight, you never know what's going to happen to it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm somewhat handy with tools and this and that. There's nothing wrong with some metal tin stamping. That works out nicely. You know, the good old hole in the ground works nicely. You know, those big drill bits make nice holes in trees, and you can pull the plug out and stick something in there inside of a glass jar and glue it back and tell your wife where it is. I mean, let's just say I have a couple hardware wallets. I definitely believe in the whole, like, if you're going to treat this stuff like it's the future and you're your own bank, you know, you don't buy one computer and put $1 million on it. You go out and you buy 10 computers, you know, and put $100,000 on each one.
Oh, and Eugene's super cheap. So, like, you find one of these and you're not going to be happy enough.
Well, I'd have to have a lot of money for it to be worthwhile for anybody.
That's true,
I know
too.
At this point in time that it would be too much work, and I don't have enough for anyone to want to come wrench attack me.
Right.
By the time they marched me around the woods and everything to get all of the recovery keys and the ledgers and everything, I mean, A, they'd be tired. B, the police would probably be here. And then all of it for what little I have.
They'd be like, we went through all of this for what? For what?
All right, so let's move on with the news. What are we looking at here, Sam? What do you want to talk about next? You want to talk about Coinbase? You want to talk about the 60 million? You want to talk about XRP?
XRP.
All right. Well, I mean, I seen the Crypto Twin brothers. You knew they were going to pop out with a video after Ripple shot up, and they had been so sparse in their video production lately because the price had been down.
I did not like that they said Bitcoin was a one-trick pony.
A one-trick pony. Yeah, but that one trick is going to be real cryptocurrency. To be,
is it really a trick?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people they're having trouble digesting the second tier or the second layer. You know, they're not really understanding, I guess, exactly what it is, how it's going to work. You know, they still think that you have to have a cryptocurrency with one layer and that everything has to happen on that one layer in order for it to, you have to have the transactions, you have to have the privacy, you have to have the consensus model. And what we're seeing in cryptocurrency is that that's not true. And we're seeing that, you know, Bitcoin has been out here for coming up on 10 years, testing the waters, trying to figure it out. And yes, we had a big explosion of altcoins last year. And one of the things I kept saying is that the altcoins, you know, it was impatient people that couldn't wait for these products to come to Bitcoin. So they went out and they made their own coins. And that was great. Big plus for them. If you guys made some money off it, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys made some money. But the real main reason behind it was that they went out and they tested things so that we can see if they work. And if they work, now we can bring them back to Bitcoin. And if it's not in a first layer implication, you know, then we're talking about second tier solutions. You know, we're looking at second tier solutions for everything that we're seeing in all of these altcoins. We're looking at second tier solutions for the smart contracts and privacy and faster transactions. And I think I even heard stuff about coming up with second tier solutions with consensus protocols in order to be able to improve the second tier solution. Sounds amazing to me. You know, it sounds like we have this fundamental or underlying fundamental blockchain of Bitcoin that's going to be happening on the mainnet that, I mean, it may not be super fast, but we know that it's unhackable. We know that it is completely decentralized, and we know that on the mainnet, you cannot censor any kind of transactions. So why not build a second tier solution? I mean, we're seeing that this is definitely the way to scale so that everybody can continue to participate in the network and we're not making centralized systems. So why not have a second tier solution like we have right now with Lightning so that we can have fast transactions and channels open everywhere and that you can actually start staking your Bitcoin to be able to receive some sort of small passive income. And no, it may not be a whole lot of money right now collecting a few Satoshis, but you know, it's that whole what's Bitcoin going to be worth in the future. So then when you start adding other options for second tier solutions, I mean, you're expanding what Bitcoin can do because then you got Rootstock, right? They're working out there trying to make smart contracts. We got Mimblewimble. They're out there making privacy protocols. So, and then now we're also looking at applications like the wallets being able to help with privacy. I think I even heard of one where they're working on the names. Like instead of having the big 24 characters, you know, the QR code and all that, they're looking at getting names registered. So like to send me cryptocurrency, it'd be like at Bitcoin and coffee. And it would tie to the wallet on a second tier protocol. I mean, these are the advancements we're looking for. The other day I was just talking about how, you know, they had a coffee machine that was running on Lightning Network, and it, you know, it's laughable. It's cute amusement. But it said that is the beginning test for everything. You know, soon it'll be the grocery store, the gas pump, the convenience store. Everything you want to purchase is going to be on the Lightning Network, and you're going to take things up to the counter, and it's going to scan them automatically, and then you're just going to pay with your QR codes, and it's going to be Lightning Network, and it's going to be that kind of fast.
Yeah, it's just like how now they have all the stupid PIN pads that register your phone, like being on the Bank of America app or whatever, right. And that you just put your phone near it.
I mean, knows. That's what we've been seeing people try to go for. I've never had one, but you know how they have the keychains with the Go Pass or the Fast Pass, where you just swipe it at the gas pump and then pump your gas into your car. I mean, that's what you want. That's what people, that you can see that that's what technology, and you can see that that's what society is trying to achieve. So you can see where this Lightning Network and every single machine out there having a way to be able to accept payments from the Lightning Network.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, could you imagine if CryptoKitties didn't break the network? You know what I mean? If it didn't just stop everything up and everybody had, as soon as something is functional, however stupid or simple it is, as soon as it is actually functional and does it consistently, it's going to change the world. Like, it will be the first. And so, yes, the coffee machine, if this thing can spit out coffee at $1.50, free of all of its fees and whatnots, and do it all the time.
I just hear that this is, you know, like McDonald's. It's always the easiest example. They were arguing about the employees wanting a living wage, you know, talking about how they deserve $15 to $20 an hour because that's what you need to live off of, that you'll receive better food, they'll work harder, it would be more worth it to go to work and actually receive pay that you could live off of, instead of, you know, the minimum wage that they give the employees now, where they come to work, they don't care, they'll feed you burnt food, cold fries, burn the buns, and not clean the grill.
Yeah,
we've all been there. We've all had the burger where you bite it and you're like, oh man, they didn't clean the grill. Or you've gotten the fries and they've been like smushy and they're cold.
Let alone the salmonellas and the whatnots that they're showing in the news now.
So they were always, you know, they have to have these people there in order to run this equipment. You know, they have to have the people there in order to check you out. Well, I mean, if you can take out the people, they're going to take out the people. And the Lightning Network and making these kind of payments and stuff like that is what's going to do it. You know, if you can have a machine right there that you can make a payment to, and it receives your payment and then actually like pushes the food forward, you know, with the robotic arm after there's a couple robotic arms in the back. I mean, it's, if they can have assembly lines create automobiles, I think they could make a smaller assembly line that makes you a Big Mac or a chicken nugget meal. You know?
I think no matter.
I mean, the machines automatically make the drinks now. They're not holding those things like they used to up against the little spout to make it fill. They automatically fill to the level.
I think it's, I don't know. I think in the very near future, we're going to be cutting out the cashier parts. Like,
yeah, so I mean, I think that 5 years down the road, we're definitely looking at cashiers being almost obsolete.
Yes, like there might be 10 people behind the counter at McDonald's, but you're never seeing any of them because, yes, we can't make the robots and the blah, blah yet, but you're not actually going to see the angry 60-year-old woman who doesn't want to make your food at the register, at the cash, at the counter where you're having to give up. No, it's going to be a pretty nice little touch screen that just takes your money.
Yeah.
And then a little thing's going to open. Somebody's going to shove something out. And there's your food.
I mean, the future is coming, and you know, it's gonna be here faster than what we all think it's gonna be here, and it's gonna be different than what we all think it's going to be. You know, you always think one thing, but in life, everything is a matter of both. You know, it's the things you want and the things you don't want. So a lot of the things we want, we're gonna get, but a lot of things that we don't want are also gonna come right along with it as part of the chain. You know, we're gonna want, you know, to be able to make lightning payments, but are we gonna want to put all these people out of work and have everything done by robots? You know, we want cryptocurrency to advance forward, but what's going to happen when the US dollar has less value when these people can't understand cryptocurrency and, are forced into a market that's beyond their comprehension? There's going to be some catastrophe and calamity along the way. Another reason why I'm out here, trying to help teach people about cryptocurrency, help lessen the calamity, right? I mean, the more you understand about cryptocurrency, the better prepared you are for this kind of new world that we're going to be going into. And the ideal of us voluntarily being able to walk away from the fiat cash and into the cryptocurrency system ahead of the game, big first mover advantage for us.
Well, we've been on 36 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's a safe bet to go with that.
Altcoin Buzz Ladies. Sarah from Altcoin Buzz Ladies. Well, I mean, I'll have to message her and see if we can't reschedule this. If you go over to Twitter, I made a nice thumbnail. I cut her head out and put it on top of a Star Trek image, and I cut my head out and put it on a Star Trek image.
It was like her one Twitter picture that was, and we were like, all right, let's just cut and paste that bad boy. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, we have the crypto type tomorrow, and we're looking at that at like 5 o'clock. So I'm pretty sure he should come through. I mean, I don't really know Sarah. I had messaged her several times asking her to come, and it took her a little while to get back. She said yes. I talked to her right here before the show or whatever, because we ran up to the grocery store, bought some stuff at Walmart, and when we got back, there was a message from her, saying that she was having some difficulties, wanting to know if we could postpone it for an hour due to her connectivity with the internet. I said to just, give it a try, that I couldn't do much about moving it because I'd already posted it. So...
Don't know.
We don't know.
Crypto Daddy says swamp ape alert. There is nothing out here.
I don't smell anything.
Tech Lords says another way to store private keys securely is to encrypt the text file with GPG, then store it on a USB flash drive. They're getting crazy in here, yes, because then Bitcoin Daily News is here. He says, hello, hodlers. Hello, Daniel.
Hey, buddy. I'm glad to see you over here.
Let's see. Yeah, Crypto Daddy then says, if you speak a different language, you can translate your recovery seeds and stick it on your fridge. They're going down the rabbit hole of how to protect your stuff. Like, you could do lots of things. You got a personal lake. You could throw it in there, too.
I like to just keep it simple.
Oh, Bitcoin Daily News says, I store my private keys on an MP3.
I mean, there's lots of ways. You can definitely get out there and start finding ways. I can't give anybody the right way. I mean, because I wouldn't want to be responsible for somebody else's funds. It's one of those things, take a little time, think about it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with putting your private keys just written on a piece of pen and paper at first, and then thinking about it for a little while until you can come up with a really good solution. Because of the fire aspect, I always keep learning. I keep coming back to like tamping it in metal, like tin, because then it would keep, besides that. And they make stuff like that already where you can go ahead and, purchase them and you can slide the letters or punch the letters out or whatever. I've seen those before. I make it myself though.
Oh, now Paul Rouleau's getting into it. Swallow your private keys. Then when they pass through, rinse and repeat.
Okay, that's good enough. Let's move on here.
Oh.
Okay, so we got about $60 million being hacked in an exchange this week. I brought you this news story 2 different times. Once when they got hacked, how they were looking at a hack pretty much of Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Monacoin. It was funny that Monacoin was hacked, or that not Monacoin was hacked, that the exchange was hacked. And
for
they
Monacoin.
also took Monacoin. Pretty much what it sounds like to me is that, they got access to their hot wallet. It looked like they had gotten access to their hot wallet on the 14th. They were hacked on the 17th. They realized it on the 18th. We also seen that Monacoin shot up really high.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they had anything to do with that. I don't know exactly how many Monacoin they got, if it was actually enough for them to be able to manipulate the market in any way. I know that the Japanese people really do like their Monacoin. It's like how when us here in America, we think of Doge. They got the kitty, Mona the kitty. Samantha she likes the memes. She loves the animals. That's why we've also had Bunny Coin and everything else.
Piggy Coin.
Piggy Coin.
Oh, everything stupid with a Y that you could think of. Oh, clams. I had clams way back. Yep. I don't even know.
Well, they were a fork off of Bitcoin.
Okay, they're not around anymore.
Well, they're just not listed at Poloniex. That's usually what happens to these cryptocurrencies. They don't actually die. They just get delisted from exchanges and then fall down into obscurity until everybody stops mining them. But so with the 60 million getting hacked, they're pretty much trying to, I mean, they're under regulation. They've already had problems. They've already been sanctioned. So it looks like they're kind of firing half their board of directors, half their auditors, giving up majority control over to another company. So, I mean, I guess it's like what? Cutting your ties and running with the last little bit of money you can. Because, I mean, if they stayed in control and they didn't get rid of their board of directors and all of that, what, the Japanese government would have came in and shut them down probably and said that, you know, you're having way too many problems with your exchange. So with that, it's like, well, how do we get our money out? How do we sell our crypto at a loss instead of riding it all the way down to zero kind of thought. So they're like, well, I mean, we fire half the people here at the top. We give them their payouts from being able to sell. I mean, they didn't just hand it over to that other company. I think it was like Fizo or Fezos or something.
Oh, like Fisco. Fisco,
so
something.
They handed a majority of the stock over, and it wasn't for free. I'm sure it was for money. And they took the money back. And I mean, they were saying that they were going to pay, it wasn't even 100% of the money in order to bring it back to where it, to what was taken. It was like $45 million or something they were supposed to be giving over. So I'm saying those people probably just got a payday, decided to hop up out of that job. They're out probably looking for another job or well enough off where they're not looking for any kind of work at the moment because they're already multimillionaires. And they're looking at passing the buck and selling at a cryptocurrency exchange on the cheap that had hacking problems. So what? Give it 6 months, everybody will forget about it. A whole new round of, cryptocurrency people, and they'll be back at the exchange, back to be able to get on top, making themselves profitable again.
We're back to the. John says, I scribed them on my ammunition, and you can have them one word at a time. Oh, Paul Rouleau says there's a turtle coin. I wonder if there is a turtle coin. I'm going to have to look that one up.
I'm sure there probably is. I've seen all kinds of stuff. I've seen Pi coin and Raven coin and coins to help you find life or extraterrestrial life out there.
That was the nice one. Yeah. Help run our algorithm to talk to the aliens. Yes.
All right, let's see what else we got. Well, we got Fidelity. We're looking at them. I don't know what you want to say about this one, Samantha. It was, I mean, they had gotten the offer to join the BOCT, which is going to be the next big cryptocurrency exchange. A lot of people are looking forward to this one. It's pretty much by, the New York Stock Exchange, I think ICE or whatever. There's a bunch of acronyms that they're using with it. In other words, high up bank people looking at cryptocurrency, trying to make it legit, want to open up an exchange and, jump ahead of the ETF. And I mean, they supposedly been working on it for like 2 years, I think it was, behind closed doors on the DL. And they came out with the news. We're looking at it supposed to be coming out here in November. So, I mean, that would be a big plus. A lot of people are looking forward to it. I think I had heard crypto saying something that was conspiracy theory-ish, like that they had came out and said this, hoping that it would support the price of Bitcoin so that when it gets close to November, they can say that there's a delay to suppress the price of Bitcoin so they can go ahead and short it at the time to be able to help up the number of Bitcoins they're holding when this actually does come out and go live. I don't know whether or not that's true. It would be funny to see it being called like that and then it actually occur. Like I said, we keep hearing that technical analysis triangle wedge or whatever is telling us by the end of October, which would be coinciding with the beginning of November, which is when we're supposed to be hearing about this BOCT. A lot of good signs pointing towards the end of the year here. Like I keep telling you guys, though, I'm thinking 2019, the beginning, February, March is when I'd really like to hopefully see things pick up and get around that 10K mark for sure. It'd be nice. Definitely got my fingers crossed. But Fidelity is looking at they're looking like they're making their own. So that's also another plus. I mean, we keep hearing statements like, Even though the bear market's been happening and it hasn't deterred credited investors, it hasn't deterred hedge funds. They're still looking at wanting to go ahead and get into this cryptocurrency space, even though they are seeing the volatility that we're looking at and that it's been a bear market. That just means it's positive and better for them to get in now if they're going to be looking at making money, because that's what they're here for. You know that. They're here for making money. They're not out there trading oranges and oil and gold and all these other stuff in order to have oranges, gold, and oil. They're trading those things to get more money. So they're going to come out here. They're going to start trading all these cryptocurrency and security tokens and everything else to make more money.
Oh, Paul Rouleau says he's mining Turtle Coin right now. So what?
What? What's it for? What does Turtle Coin do? Is it because I know some of them are out there to help, like the Piggy Coin was to help to sponsor teachers and education. I mean, it's hard to remember what they all are. When you read them, you know it, but then you go ask someone 20 minutes later and they probably couldn't tell you. I know that a lot of the coins that are animal related have something like it's a charity or some kind of organization like that. So
right, save the turtles.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Save the turtles.
I've saved a few sea turtles.
I know that turtles are endangered here in Florida. It's illegal to mess with them. I mean, the gopher tortoises are cool. I've been wanting to catch one somewhere and put it in the yard and try to keep it as a pet.
Just highly suggest it stays within the boundaries.
Yeah, stays within the boundary of the fence. I'll dig you the hole to get you started. Well, who doesn't want a turtle in their backyard?
Yeah.
I just afraid the dogs, they'll want to mess with them. That's why we got to find a big one.
Yes, where there's no chance of messing with them. Yes. Like one of the ones where you're scared of it. It's like, ooh,
I'm not saying a snapping turtle now.
You're a big turtle.
So what do we got? Anybody got any thoughts in the chat?
No.
I mean, to me, it's just more of that, like, there's all these subtle key things that I keep seeing where it's like cryptocurrency is going to become the future, and it's not really a matter of debate on whether or not it's going to. It's just a matter of when, and I think maybe it's just been a little too over exuberant last year that people thought that it was coming sooner than what it really was. But there's still, I mean, Lightning Network coffee machines. The Fidelity getting in and trying to make their own exchange and not really wanting to hop on with the BAC because, the BAC is now making their own exchange, and we're starting to look at banks getting in this, and we're looking at Binance getting in 5 countries and Coinbase trying to get a banking license. And I mean, it's coming. And I mean, it is, I guess it's comparable to the internet. The internet rolled out and not a lot of people really were like, they're like, oh yeah, there's this thing called the internet, but they didn't know what it was. They didn't know what was going on with it. And then all of a sudden you've seen AOL, man, they did it. Everybody got one of those discs in the mail. Everybody was hopping online. Everybody had to get a computer. They were going out to Walmart and the Dell stores getting the cow boxes, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed like it was a matter of like 2 years, it seemed like, that it went from everybody I knew kind of knowing what the internet was, like now, how everyone kind of knows what Bitcoin is, they got some thoughts or theories on what they think it is, to all of a sudden 2 years later, everybody having a personal computer in their house, even if it was a big freaking tower with the monitor as part of the hard drive and everything, with the pins for the mouses and everything.
I remember that, yeah. Yep.
Hopping on with their dial-ups, their beep, boop, 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 14.4 modems, getting on, trying to get in everybody all of a sudden is in the AOL chat rooms. Everyone's on there talking dirty and saying F you and this and that, and they thought it was the greatest thing in the world.
I know, right? Talking dirty and cussing at people around the world was apparently mind-blowing.
I mean, what I know that from when I got in the chat, I had, after like a couple of weeks of doing it and trying to find good chats and stuff, I wanted nothing to do with it because it just seemed like a bunch of people screaming in one room with nobody actually listening to each other.
Well, Venton says a turtle in the backyard might screw up the lawnmower and launch it through the living room window. Best not to have them. And Paul Rouleau says Altcoin Buzz interviewed the Turtle Coin developer on their podcast. So okay. I will have to watch that.
I watch Altcoin Buzz on occasion. I mean, I know that he does a lot of technical analysis, and tell you guys, I'm not super on technical analysis. I mean, I think it has its place, and I think it's all great and wonderful, and it can let you know what's going to be happening in the market as long as there's no big news or ramp up in adoption.
Some societal, that's not even a word.
Society. As long as society doesn't go out there and do what society does.
Because that's stupid human nature stuff.
Thinks differently.
Crypto Daddy says his first monitor was a black and white TV. A Texas Instrument 1K of memory.
I think my first computer was an AST with the monitor strapped in, and it didn't even have like a Windows operating system. It had its own operating system.
See, I don't know. I had at the Air Force Base in Japan, they had like in the library, they had like 6 or 7 computers, and those things they must have been like state of the art back then, because I was 6 or 7 years old, so that would have been like 87. And then my family didn't care about computers. I think my dad got our first like family house computer right before I turned 18, so that would have been like 1998. So I mean, there was a large gap of no computers really. And I mean, I remember being in middle school and doing the little program of like making the dark pixel or the light pixel to make pictures. I mean, it was literally like a light glow.
Everybody remembers playing Oregon Trail.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do. And yep.
The little math bomber ship where you were the plane and you did the math questions.
I do remember that. It was all like me. Yep. I remember that.
Okay. What else we got? All right. We got XRP. We got the 60 million hack. ETFs. Is it a delay? Is it decision? Does it really matter? Right? Do you got opinions on this ETF stuff? I mean, it's been going on and on. I think since we've gotten into this space 2 years ago, it is this constant repetitive cycle of ETFs. ETFs are coming. They're going to pump up the price. ETF denials. We need better regulation. Oh, we don't really need regulation. But if we get the regulation, we'll get the ETFs. And if we get the ETF, we'll get all the accredited investors. But the accredited investors are going to want to make the price go up and down, up and down, up and down, because they're going to want to make money. And we're not actually here for money. We're here to make cryptocurrency currency. What do you think, Samantha? What are your feelings on the ETF? Do you think that Bitcoin needs an ETF?
No. But I think it's going to happen probably.
You think it's going to happen? Do you think the ETF is going to happen because the people in cryptocurrency want it to happen, or do you think it is that the standard financial markets want to get in on cryptocurrency because they see the opportunity to make money that they can't make in their own markets?
I think that it is like it's the banks and the creditor investors and all of that. But I think the main problem is that just like how you said that there are 2 kinds of people that are in crypto that are not credited investors, but they're the gamblers. They're the ones that are looking for money and looking for easy ways to make money in this. And then there's the hodlers. I am pretty sure that sadly we will get an ETF because of the fact that the banks want it, the government want it in some way, and then the majority of the people that are using this to make money and to just gamble and trade and do that are going to see that that would be a way to get money from Bitcoin. And so that it'll happen because they'll think, oh yeah, that's how we're going to get the 10x. That's how we're going to get the 20x. That's how we're going to get more out of Bitcoin, is by giving it to the man.
So still, once again, it's this fact that people that are here for fundamental reasons are slightly getting screwed over by the fact that we've started trying to get the masses in, and the majority of the masses that have come to cryptocurrency are trying to manipulate it for their own personal gain of gaining more fiat cash.
Yeah, because they can't see it for what it is.
Pushing it into the standard financial markets, which will help manipulate the price of fiat cash to Bitcoin even further, and their continued attempts at making more and more fiat cash. So
yeah, it's like how Adam and the hodlers, we know what this really is. We're looking 10, 20 years. We're looking into the future. It doesn't, like, just like when you ask people that hold Bitcoin, they don't, oh, okay, well, yeah, it's down today. Yes, it's up today. Yeah. That is not the point. The point is the halvening. The point is 10 years after the halvening.
Fundamental reasons. When we're buying and selling things directly for Bitcoin, it is not about the US dollar bill in any way anymore.
No.
It's like, here, I am selling you this for 1,500 Satoshis. I am selling you this for 500,000 Satoshis. And then, oh, yes, here, please pay me. I would like 20,000 Satoshis for that payment. Yes. It's no longer, oh, I need $5 or, oh, $20 or, oh, this is $500. Everything is done in Satoshi values. But then it still comes down to maybe we need the ETFs and stuff like that to help stabilize the price, because I've heard that argument as well, is that once they get involved, once the price is up higher, because it's not just the small community that we're working with now, that the price will stabilize.
Of course, the government will stabilize
up
it
there at some higher value. But then what would be next? Next, it would be to add an Ethereum ETF, a Litecoin ETF, a Dash ETF.
And now we're talking about literally taking cryptocurrency and moving it right back into the same market that we are trying to get out of. Like, who cares if it's an Ethereum ETF? It's an ETF. It's not like, it is literally reverting backwards. But it's reverting backwards for all the people that can't understand that that's not the way we're going. Like, who cares about your dollar bill amount? Who cares about any, like, that is, we are going backwards.
Maybe it's not necessarily that they're going, for cryptocurrency, it would be going backwards. Maybe it's that the people of the world that are in the basic fiat cash can't comprehend what we're talking about. They're so used to and only seeing and understanding money and dollar bills and value and stocks and bonds and commodities in one way, that they literally cannot understand or comprehend what we're talking about with cryptocurrency.
And these are the same people who cannot comprehend or value the fact that debt is debt, and that credit cards are not just gifts from God. I mean, it's the same thing. That once you start putting these people and their ideas into this and start forming ideas based around their needs, then we're right back to the same thing. Because if these people can't understand what cryptocurrency is, well, you know what? The strong will survive. And sometimes you got to kick people off the boat. And that is not the nice way. And that's not the, that's not like the PC version of what's supposed to happen. But once we start making it go backwards to let these people understand, then we're ruining what we already have.
It is complicated. I mean, it's that whole set, I guess, that here in America, a lot of people, they have this ideal that just because they're alive and they woke up today, that they are entitled to things.
All you're entitled to is to keep breathing.
Most people in America, they believe every single day that they are entitled to, respect, and, that they're entitled to have all those things that make life cushy. And in reality, nobody's entitled to anything. Life is not fair. Whoever told you that life was fair and you believed it lied to you.
Well,
it's not. Go talk to people in third world countries. Go talk to people that are out there and they're starving and they're just trying to feed their families, and they're out there busting themselves every single day to make change, for what Americans would call it, on a daily basis, just to try to keep the shack that they're living in.
Yes. And these people in America, those people, we literally give government funding to.
Yes.
Okay. And then they go and they make their life cushy with the government funding that is given to them, because they are, too poor to feed themselves? Go talk to somebody in Chile about being too poor to feed themselves. Like, so really?
Because they were fortunate enough to be born in the United States, they can go out and, collect, let's just use, government assistances I mean, depending on whether or not it's food stamps or SSI or Social Security disability or, you know, medical insurance that you get for free or all of those different things.
Your free Head Start for all your children that you keep making, the whole 9 yards,
Yep.
all of the government plans and programs.
You can go out and you can collect all of these. And I mean, we have seen, I mean, it is very common to find somebody, or specifically larger families, I guess, where like nobody in the household works. They're completely living 75 or 80% of their income is coming from financial assistance programs, but yet they're still running around thinking that they're entitled to everything instead of going around with the respect that they should be giving to everybody else, because everybody else paying taxes is what's paying, you know, the rent for the roof over their head, which is paying to feed their 4 children, which is paying, you know, for everything. And then you see that the guy is maybe going off and working, and all he's able to afford, or all he's doing is working some kind of a part-time job enough to keep things going, or he has a good full-time job, but he's not making any real money, especially enough to take care of his entire family. So what little money he does get, they waste on drugs and alcohol and frivolous, you know, McDonald's and stuff like that.
They're the people, yes, they're the people at my store.
And those are the people that are never going to get the cryptocurrency space. Those are the people that when we switch over to Bitcoin, it is not going to help them in any way. Those are the people that when we go to Bitcoin, they will starve to death. Because unless you're literally going to take out your cell phone and QR code them some Satoshis to be able to go to the store and buy some food, no one's going to give them the money that they need to eat. They're not just going to be able to go online and fill out some document that takes all of 10 minutes and wait 30 days and get a couple $100 worth of
anything, assistance, any assistance. I mean, ask the rest of the freaking world how much assistance they really get. Yes, there are countries that give free medical, and there are, but not to the extent of the United States. Like
people taking things for granted. I mean, it's this. I mean, once again, to me, it always just comes down to this over self-entitled right. It's like, oh, because I'm alive and I'm an American, I deserve everything to be equal. I deserve everything. I deserve all the food I can eat. I deserve a car to drive around. I deserve a roof over my head, and I deserve to not have to work day in and day out, because it's all about how I feel. And what I feel like is relaxation and partying and having a good time. Well, that don't work. That's not what the world's going to. If everybody continues along with this way, you know, we're going to go to the point where nobody does any work. The whole thing's all falling apart, and we're going to, you know, destroy the entire human race. You know, personal responsibility has to be achieved at some point, and cryptocurrency is definitely the way towards receiving financial, or going towards financial personal responsibility. Unlike now, where we're just printing off trillions of dollars and saying, hey, it's all going to be okay, people.
It's not going to be okay.
It's not going to be okay. This system will fall down at some point.
Pension says, no doubt, we are currently in peak government. In time, government won't be able to afford to keep paying welfare. And then private charities will take over and help those who are in need and deserving. Yes. I mean, I guess it's probably because most of the people that I have met that are funded, helped, they don't see it for what it is, and they don't see that. I mean, I've literally had, you know, people in a sentence say, oh, they need to give me more, you know, food stamps. And it's like, they don't have to give you anything. And why are you thinking you're getting more? Like, I mean, I've known people who literally make sure that they pop out a kid every couple years, because guess what? That makes it so you keep getting WIC and you keep getting all of the horrible stuff and it's just like, what game plan in life was that? Like, why? Semi-permanent pregnant at all times? Really? That shouldn't even be a word. Oh, our child's watching. Yes. That's why we're under a tree.
All right, let's see. What else do we got? Well, let's see. We covered Fidelity. We talked about NASA. We did the ETF, right? Last thing I got, you guys. Coinbase. They're talking about exchanges, talking about that New York survey that they went and handed around to all the exchanges to see who would answer it. I mean, they're talking about wash trading. Let's see, who fired? Was it Kraken? Kraken fired back at them on Twitter, saying that because they didn't give an answer, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing anything illegal. We're looking at Coinbase and 20% wash trading, and they're saying that this is between Coinbase Pro, which is the trading platform, and the price they give you for the regular, like, you know, when you come in and it gives you a price for the buy now, and them being and filling that order book. I don't know. It's always a complicated situation when it comes to Coinbase, but at the same time, I mean, they're onboarding everybody, right? I mean, I don't know anywhere else you can go. You can sign up with your debit card. You can get your Know Your Customer pass in a day or two. You can get your cryptocurrency instantly. You can send it to the exchange. So within 48 to 56 hours, you're up at an exchange with like $50.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
I mean, until we get to the point where you can just hit me up personally, you know, like you're just peer-to-peer person, you know, here's a couple dollars, get some crypto on my phone, where everybody has it. It's that so few people have cryptocurrency. I mean, we're still talking about what, like less than 1% of the population understand cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I don't know. It is a scary thought to think that, because I don't talk about cryptocurrency in any way, like, to anyone really, besides well, you guys and Eugene, because I don't want to spend the 3 hours trying to explain it. I tried a couple times, and also, no offense to women, but I talk to women, and a lot of them, if you're not able to make it at a job, they don't understand how that works. And it's like, well, I mean, you can make it at a job. You just have to make sure that that job pays you in cryptocurrency. I don't know. It is scary to think how much we think about this all the time, and that there is so many people who have never thought this thought once.
Yeah. I mean, it makes you, once you get into cryptocurrency, it starts changing who you are, and it makes you different than everybody else. I mean, a lot of the people I know, their concerns about like, you know, I want a boat. I want to go out on the weekend to this bar or this club or go to this sporting event. A lot of people I know, they're talking about the next big thing they're going to buy or the next big vacation they're going to go on. Where in my head, everything I think about is, okay, people buy things to buy things. I don't want to be one of those people. How do I start cutting my costs back so that I can save money? Because if I'm saving money, then I can spend it on these things, which are cryptocurrencies that are assets. Assets are how rich people get rich. You make money work for you. Going and spending my money on a vacation or on having a cell phone plan that I don't necessarily need, or more insurance on a vehicle that isn't necessarily needed, is not going to help. It's not going to do anything for my future. It is literally not going to do anything for me besides what? Make me possibly feel better in this exact moment of my life. Well, maybe my expectations are too high that I need to have all this stuff in order to feel better. I mean, there's only two things you really need to live, and that's air and water, and they're both absolutely free. So why shouldn't I feel good with just, you know, some basic substance, you know, to eat, and water to drink, and air to breathe, and my family close by? Maybe more than that is, you know, being a little too overzealous, you know, thinking that I deserve more than I really need.
It's that same entitledness.
It is. And once you can strip that away and you can start seeing that there is an abundance of money that you could be making, especially if you go out and work hard, willing to work a second job, willing to do some hustle on the side, there's lots of extra money that can be made that can start going into cryptocurrency, and then make it so that down the road you don't have to go to work and have the side hustle, because the cryptocurrency assets you've invested in are going to work for you. And then you'll get to spend even more time with your family. And maybe then when you're feeling older and your legs are working and your back's not the same, you can go ahead and you can take some of that reward. You can, you know, reap some of those benefits. You can go ahead maybe then and take that vacation because you've deserved it. You've earned it. You went out there and you did your hard job, and you saved the money when it needed to be saved, and you bought the assets when the assets were cheap, and you know, did your time taking care of your family. And now that you're older and your children have moved off, in my case, or whatever your case may be, I could go take Samantha on a vacation. Maybe then we could have the little sports car or something when we're retired, because I've already done all of the work, and the house is repaired, and the property is paid off, and we're not needing to go to Walmart to spend $600 or $700 a month in groceries, because I've started offsetting the budget with better food, that's not GMO'd and, you know, pumped full of antibiotics and everything else, because I'm raising some of my own. You know, it's all about, you need to think of what you really want life to be in the future, and then every single day take a step in that direction. And there's nothing stopping you but you. You don't have to think like everyone else. You don't have to do what everyone else does. And in reality, it doesn't matter what these other people think. And I've learned that one a long time ago, because I used to be like a freak or gothic in high school and people made fun of me. I personally do not care what other people think of me. The only thing that matters to me is my family. Because at the end of all of this, that's where I will be judged, if there is judgment to be done. At the end of all of this, and you're sitting there and it's passing on time, and you look back, would you really care what the guy that you worked with thought about your shoes or the car you drove or the clothes you had? No. You think about what your wife thought of you, what your children think of you. You know, I mean, you see all the time on TV and other people where the children are resentful of the parents because they're gone all the time. For what? For money? To provide them a good life? Well, what kind of a life did it provide them if they're not happy, so that they could have money to have the cell phone and the new computer and the brand new car at 16? Well, things aren't love. You know, love comes from the heart.
Yeah, but that's the whole, I mean, that's the whole social media and the whole, have you watched TV lately, Eugene? I mean, seriously?
I try not to. But I mean, I don't know. Part of everything that we're doing, Samantha, and all of this cryptocurrency is that we are separating from society. Because if you want to continue along with what society is doing now, you're just heading down the path of destruction with them. It is that now is the time to start separating yourself from society, because you can see where they're going. Where are they going? They're going into poverty. They're going into the movie Idiocracy. I mean, that is, I've heard everyone else under the sun say, that is where the world is going. That's not where I want to go at all. I want to go in the other direction. I want to go towards where everybody is equal. I want to go towards where the future is better for everyone, because we're all thinking about each other and not just ourselves. That's the future I want to live in. That's the future I want to leave for my children. That's the future I would like for my grandchildren to start growing up in. Not this future where everybody starts to become so selfish and never wanting to take personal responsibility for everything, that you run down this road of where is the disaster going to be? World war? Because America is going to think that they deserve everything and try to take everyone else's natural resources, and everyone else should be suffering.
Oh, well, let's not forget, we like to get in there and try to stop other people's wars that we have nothing to do with.
So, is that how long we've been on here? Should we start wrapping it up?
An hour and 13 minutes is how long we've been on here.
I know, you get me going, especially in the afternoon and a cup of coffee, talking about finances and how America is just not really what it should be.
It is screwed up, people.
But we are just crazy people out in the woods talking about this magical internet money. All right, I guess let's check in with the chat. If you guys got any comments, if you guys want to talk about anything, pile up in the chat. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give our end spiel. Then we'll come back. We'll take a look at the chat one more time. And then I guess we'll go ahead. We'll wrap this up. We'll call it a great episode. See, we don't necessarily need guests, Samantha. Me and you, we can carry the show on right here on our backs. No?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. What do we got? We got tomorrow's show with the crypto type. We're going to talk about EOS. Let me just put it out there right now. If you hop in the chat and you start talking a bunch of smack, Samantha's going to ban you. All right. I definitely don't want that. I would like a productive conversation. So let's just lay down those ground rules, cut and clear. All right.
We haven't had much problems, except for a few which are now already taken care of in other chats. But I mean, I can see the potential, because not a lot of people like EOS. EOS is centralized. I mean, it is like one step down from Ripple. I guess a lot of people would consider it. Yeah, but it's not like you're having Roger Ver on here or anything. So, I mean, how much hate can it really? I mean, this is a man who just likes a coin and likes, you know.
I just want to make sure that it's very clear that smack talk will get you banned. All right. We're here to have a productive conversation. Like I said, the world is full of gray matters, and this is definitely one of them. Could be a great cryptocurrency. Could be a good project to go ahead and make you some cash. We see lots of dApps going over there. We see they got fast, free transactions, which is all for these dApps. So you can't knock it till you tried it.
I mean, how much worse than Ethereum can it be?
What else do we got? Well, of course, we're going to continue to keep bringing you our weekday shows Monday through Friday at 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. They've been going great. So please go ahead, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're still continuing to build this community. If you think you'd be interested in coming out here and joining me either on a weekend show is where I try to get people. If you want to join me for a morning show, if you want me to do a whole nother show in the middle of the day, I will. Not a problem. We want people to come join us. We want people to come talk to us. The show is definitely open for anybody. You don't need to be a dev. You don't need to be some guru out there in the cryptocurrency space. We want to talk to everybody. New people, single moms, the homeless guy out on the street holding the QR code. We want to know what you know about cryptocurrency because cryptocurrency is the people's money. So you got to talk to the people to know what's up with the people's money, right? What else we got? Well, we got those donational addresses down below if you got any of the extra crypto. But like I keep telling you guys, we're still trying to raise for that EDC fund. We're getting closer and closer. We're on the other side of $400 now, right? So that's a big plus. We're getting closer.
Or we're just shy of it. I don't know. Yeah, okay.
Now with the
new
price has bumped up. Hopefully the price of Bitcoin will shoot up and nobody else will have to donate anymore. Because hey, we're not asking for a ton of money with this one. We're just trying to get you guys to help pay for our tickets, which are like $200 a piece, and to buy 500 flyers and pay for part of the gas.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take care of our own food. We're going to take care of our own drinks. We're going to take care of our own motel room. We're going to take care of whatever's not covered in the gas. So I've been thinking of it more of like a carbon offset. It's a cryptocurrency offset. I know you guys are busy. I know that life does not leave us lots of times for our passions and things we care about. So if you throw a couple dollars in here, you can go ahead. You can feel great about yourself because you're helping us get out there and do the legwork and talk to people about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And what more do we really want in this space? Is, it's this whole planting seeds, right? I'm going to go out there. I'm going to plant a couple seeds. Maybe we'll get some flowers to grow, and maybe those flowers will grow some more flowers, right? That's how this is going to happen, is getting the right people into it. And I think we might do a little better than Thomas did on Fremont Street, just because of the event, the people, the generation, you know what I mean? Like, it's a music festival during the day with younger people and technology. Come on. It's like, it's just clicking all the bells here in my book that I can see people being interested in it. I hope 500 flyers is enough.
I know, that's why I was saying, if for some reason we run out, then we'll
500 flyers for 2 days. So that's 250 flyers. That's 125 each, Samantha. So I mean, 125 flyers when we're talking about tens and 20 and 30,000 people going to be there. We might not have enough.
That's why I was saying, if for some reason we don't have enough flyers, or, something catastrophic happens, God knows what, but, we lose a backpack, something, we will just have lots of videos of you talking to random strangers.
Yes, we will be trying to bring you as much video and photographs of this as we possibly can. I'm hoping that this kind of pumps the buzz about the channel up a little bit. It's one thing to sit here and talk about it. I know that it did good things for Thomas, and a lot of people were talking about it. Maybe post side of this, when we've talked about Bitcoin with people and we got good photo and video of it, maybe some other people will talk about us a little more. Maybe it'll create a little bit of buzz about Bitcoin and coffee. Maybe we'll get some new subscribers out here. Maybe we'll get some more stuff going on with the channel. I mean, we're always looking to help make this grow, because the more this grows, the more people I can help, the more funding we get, so we can get some better equipment, all of that kind of stuff. It helps. I mean,
yeah,
we've been doing everything we can. It'll be 2 years in January that we've been doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know it doesn't feel like it's been that long, does it? It seems like not that long ago when I was out here trying to give the market recaps and sitting there with a hat on the couch waiting to go to work.
Oh, those were the best.
All right, Samantha. What do we got going on in the chat? Let's go ahead and start wrapping this one down.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nope.
nobody got no questions. That's because they're all Bitcoin gurus out here. These people know everything already.
Benjamin and Truth Monster are talking about Roger Ver and like getting thrown overboard and whatnot and how it didn't happen. But nothing really.
I don't think he was actually on the cruise. I think that he came on board just for that conference.
And then left. No matter what, I know I saw a bunch of bodyguards only around him. It's like, really? So the 5 guys just happened to walk always in the same direction as him.
Well, I mean, I don't know. When
a smart man would have bodyguards, because yes.
When you go out there in social media and you get your buzz going, you get your word, your limelight through controversy. I mean, I guess that's kind of part of it. Controversy kicks up a lot of feelings, and you never know how far someone's really going to go out there. Because, I mean, if we were all smart and logical, nobody would actually kill anybody, because who really wants to spend the rest of their life in prison? It's emotion that gets the better of us, that causes us to do these dumb things. Smart, logical thinking tells us, not to do those type of things.
Yeah, I don't think I'd run my mouth, but,
People are going to do what they're going to do.
They are.
All right, you guys. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, 5 o'clock. All right, you guys. Please tune in tomorrow. Join us for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. We're going to get the lowdown on EOS and see what's happening over there. After that, we'll be back on Monday with our morning Bitcoin and Coffee episode, so you can get my thoughts on what's happening in the news, plus what the daily news is, the price action is, Samantha's wonderful chat reading, so that we can go ahead and answer any questions you guys might have, because that is another big part of the show, is that we like to make it you guys can get in touch with us very easily. Either coming on the show, get in the chat, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up through the free email help desk service at eugeneforrest20@gmail.com. I mean, we are available pretty much. If I'm awake and I'm not working a job or away from the house, I'm answering your guys' email. You guys definitely get an answer from me within 24 hours. That's pretty much a guarantee. Just out here trying to do my part. You got any last words you want to tell anybody, Samantha?
No. I mean...
Well, do you want to thank them for coming out today?
Of course. Thank you, guys. And I hope everyone has a really good Saturday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you won't be here tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm reading the chat.
Tomorrow you're reading the chat?
I'm reading the chat.
All right, I guess my son's reading the chat tomorrow. So that'll be a nice change of pace.
It'll be another man's voice in this lovely
in this male-dominated cryptocurrency market.
That's fine.
All right, you guys. Go out there. Have a great weekend, even though I will see you tomorrow. And remember, keep your BTC safe.
Bye, guys.